Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate, and it does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, you often speak about the home seller's biggest dilemma, and that is having to sell a home before they buy their next home. Most home sellers want to be sure their sale will go as planned, so most home sellers will not take a contract contingent on another home selling. So, what are the top ways a home seller can buy their next home without having to sell their current home? It is quite the catch 22.
It definitely is. And right now it's still kind of teetering on a seller's market all across the Front Range. That means basically less than 90 days of average days on market, which are true all across the Front Range. But remember, those statistics are only for the homes that are selling. There's some that are not selling, and it could only be one of two reasons. They're not marketed right or they're not priced right. So we still have a slightly low inventory, but lower demand than what we've seen before. And of course, homes are far less affordable with the rates going over 7%. Some home sellers actually will consider a contingent offer these days, just because any offer is definitely an offer. And so what we're seeing just as far as the activity snapshot of what the stats that just came out over in the Pikes Peak region, the number of sold listings according to that data is 6.6%. I've seen higher numbers than that. The 1-year change in the median price, though, is up by 5%, and the number of active listings is up by 23.5%. So you can see how the data, like one data tells me 25%, one tells me 30. At the end of the day, we've got more inventory, yet the prices are higher and there's fewer sales. So I think what we're going to see here going through the summer is a little bit of softening in prices. And it's all interest rate driven. But if you look at real estate over the long term, either for single family homes, which I'm showing you a chart right now, that's the gray line, and the blue line is townhomes. Over the long term, going back to the meltdown of 2012, prices are still holding and they're getting higher, right? So if you can't really think of real estate as a flipper purchase, it needs to be long term. And generally, if you're sitting on the home for more than 3 to 5 years, you're probably going to do well if you're going to sell it. Right now, the average price is about 2% higher than for 2% for townhomes and 8% higher for single family homes. So that's really a pretty good number. That indicates a really strong market. And that's a good sign. Housing supply, though, has really changed since last year. We're seeing a lot more townhomes go on the market. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of the townhomes are facing really, really high insurance rates right now. We have one that we're thinking about selling where just in the last couple of years, the HOA dues have almost doubled. And it's like, really? That's just for insurance? That seems crazy. So a lot of people are bailing out of those and getting single family homes. So the buyers that have a house to sell and the ones that need their proceeds to sell are the ones that are really in that catch 22. Now, there are programs out there. There's investors that will let you buy your next home first and then sell your home. And they basically put a lien on your house and loan you your equity. That's kind of how it works. You don't have to qualify for the payment. And you have 90 days after that to sell your home. So that's kind of cool. That works pretty well. That's one of the solutions, especially for those that can't qualify for two house payments. But a lot of people fear that only because they're not really certain their house is going to sell. So that's one of the ways, probably the most effective way to be able to buy your next home is to get your current home under contract. At that point, everybody knows you're getting to the finish line. Then you can start making plans to move. And as long as the deals go through okay, it's not a problem. The downside of that is if the contract could potentially fail, and that happens occasionally too. That's why the timing may not necessarily 100% work out in that situation. I just got a call this morning. I have a seller that's under contract. They want to buy in another area, and the agent is trying to get me to align the dates, which I'm not sure their buyer will agree to that. So you have to be kind of prepared that you might have to stay in temporary housing for a short period of time to make that transition. Now, the people that are fortunate enough to buy their next home first and sell their current home later, that is the most low stress way to do it. If a lot of people that have paid for homes do this quite a bit, where they go and buy their other home either in the same market or in a new market, and then they put their house on the market. It's very chill to do it that way, but not everybody can afford that. There's another option too. It's something called a recast. And I've had a client use this before. It's really cool. You have to ask the lender to do it. A lot of times local lenders will do this. So what does that mean? If you have a way to buy your next home first, but then once your home sells, you want to take that equity and put it down on the loan of your new home. There are some lenders that offer what's called a recast, where so you bought your new home first on your new loan, then your existing home sells a month or two later, you take that equity and make a huge payment down on that loan. Some of the lenders will actually readjust the payment and lower your payment for a very small fee. And that's a great deal. I've seen a couple of people set that program up, and it really is a win-win for you because it means you don't have to refinance when your house sells. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And it's really one of the biggest dilemma that people face when they want to upgrade or downsize and improve their lifestyle to sell a home. What do they do if they need to sell their current home before they buy their next home? And actually, we have some great solutions. So when we come back, we're going to cover some of those solutions on the way that you can make that transition without having too much uncertainty that it's all going to come through. And if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 if you'd like to get a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We'll give you a really good idea what your home will sell for and how much you put in your pocket, and we'll present to you all of our buyers. We can typically match any home with at least 100 buyers. That would be a high match for your home, plus all the buyers on Zillow and Realtor.com. Our cash buyers, we can present cash offers to you on almost every home and offer you some of our fabulous guarantees. So call us 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and you can reach her at 719-301-3900. And we're talking about that elephant in the room, having the dilemma of needing your equity out of your current home in order to buy your next home. So, Barb, what are some other solutions for home sellers that have a house to sell?
Well, I've seen some home sellers actually take a home equity line of credit. Now, those interest rates are higher even than a typical mortgage rate. But if you have a home that has plenty of equity in it or that's paid off, what you can do is take a home equity line of credit enough that you could purchase your next home, right? And then when your current home sells, it just gets paid off through the sale. And that's a pretty good idea. In general, those home equity lines of credit, though, they're going to loan you up to about 75 or 80% of your home's value in the form of equity if you have that much. But the good news about it is you don't have to sell your home first. I've got a couple clients doing that exact transition right now where they could buy their next home first, take their time moving, make it as less stress as possible, and then once their home sells, then they actually pay off that line of credit and they're good to go in their new home. So that's one solution. Occasionally, you can pull money from retirement accounts. You can actually get a loan on a 401k. That's an option for some people. But in most cases, though, you have to really talk to your tax professional and your investment professional about this because Like if you have an IRA, typically if you pull the money, especially prior to retirement years, you could face a tax penalty when it comes out. Another option is what I mentioned earlier, which is the buy now, sell later. And that's really cool. There's a company that actually offers to front you the equity in your home. And instead of it being a loan where you have to make payments, it becomes a lien on your current home. So you get the resources to buy your next home. And then after you buy your next home, then you sell your current home and just pay off the lien that's put on your house of that equity. And I actually had somebody use this option one time in order to overcome competition. So they had initially made an offer contingent on their home selling that was on the market but not sold. And then a competing buyer came in that didn't have a house to sell. So the way they kicked them out of there is they used this option and were able to take the home equity out of their paid for home to say, I no longer need a sale contingency. I can buy this home without selling my current home. And they ended up getting that house. So it's a really good solution for some people. And then of course, selling your home first. For some people do that. They sell their home first, go into an apartment, have their resources. And there are some builders that actually won't take sale contingencies. So you have to be ready for temporary housing if that happens. Building a home typically could take up to 1 year. And I find that most people really won't make a move unless they've identified a definite destination. We also can guarantee the sale of homes, especially with our cash offer program. We actually have 64 high net worth cash buyers that could come in and make offers on your home as is. You don't have to worry about putting it on the market. You don't have to worry about fixing it up, and you can get it sold in just a few weeks. So if you'd like to get a cash offer on your home, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com and we would be happy to discuss it with you. Or if you want to do the traditional sales process, we'll give you all options up front. We're the only company that can do that. Sit down with you, have cash offers in hand as well, not just one, but multiple, as well as be able to show you how you get the most money when you sell, and you could pick whichever sale platform that you would like to do. It's a free in-home consultation. You're never obligated to accept a contract. You're never obligated to sell your home. And we give you tips on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, give you a good idea what it will sell for, all of your closing costs, so you know exactly how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells. So if you're interested in that free service, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
If you're thinking of making a move and you're looking to trade up to another home, call Barb and her team at 719-301-3900. A short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about what does it cost to sell a home, and do you have to fix up everything before you sell? Stay tuned for that.